Welcome to the 6th episode of the Three Sportsmen podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Kurt.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Trey.
And in this episode, we are going to continue ranking NBA players, this time with shooting guards. But before we start that, we'd like to let you know how to guest on the Three Sportsmen podcast. You can DM one of us personally or DM our official accounts on Twitter
At podcast T3S.
or on Instagram.
T3S podcast.
We'd love to have you on the show, so please let us know if you'd like to be on. So now we're going to start our shooting guard tier rankings with the same tiers that we had last time: elite, star, good, average, and meh. So Trey, let's start with your elite tier. Who did you have?
James Harden, Klay Thompson, Luka Doncic, and Donovan Mitchell.
Okay. Sam, who did you have?
I had James Harden, Luka Doncic, Donovan Mitchell, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Zach LaVine.
Okay, I had a really big elite tier. I have Bradley Beal, James Harden, Zach LaVine, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, Luka Doncic, Jimmy Butler, Klay Thompson, and Victor Oladipo.
See, at least two of us are right. Zach LaVine is an elite player.
Zach LaVine is elite.
I think it's just not fair to put him in the same tier as James Harden and Klay Thompson. That's just where I'm at.
I think if we're going to put tiers within tiers, yeah, obviously Beal, Harden, and Thompson are at the top. But, I mean, Zach LaVine is the only reason the Bulls were relevant, let's be honest.
It's true.
Exactly.
But, I mean, I think he needs to
had
prove
four
more.
50-point games this year. Just throw that on top.
25 points a game, 4.8 rebounds, 4.2 assists.
He averaged 32 points per game in the month of January.
I mean, he's good. I mean, I'm not saying he's not. I think he's still a star. I just think he's not ready to be in the elite category with Harden and Thompson.
I think if you're
Especially not being an all-star yet.
Did you guys put Devin Booker as elite?
Yeah, I
No.
did.
I put him as a star.
I think if you're going to consider Devin Booker elite, you have to consider Zach LaVine elite. Because they're basically they're in the same situation.
I have both as stars.
I think Devin Booker edged him in points per game, but
he did.
the thing is Zach LaVine actually passes, like he can pass the ball, and like Devin Booker literally just has a team of busts.
I mean, I wouldn't say Levine makes people better though. Like he doesn't
He's not-
really like.
Yeah. He's
not
not that
good
type of
enough
player.
yet. He's not good enough to do that yet. But personally, I think he's making Kobe White a better player.
I think he is.
Yeah, but as a whole, I don't think he makes the Bulls.
Not as a
players.
whole, but he's definitely making Kobe White a much better player.
I think since Booker's basically the only reason Phoenix is somewhat relevant, if you're going to consider him elite, you have to consider Zach LaVine elite, even if they're in that lower end of the elite tier.
Exactly.
Donovan Mitchell, obviously elite.
Like you can't even debate that. Like him and Gobert are really the only reason why the Jazz are. Well, the Jazz. I mean, they have a whole team. That's the thing. But Donovan Mitchell just completes it.
Yeah,
They
they're
have a bunch of solid
well-rounded team.
pieces.
Like Joe Ingles, he's a great role player.
Yeah, amazing shooter.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a great shooter.
Mike Conley's
got,
an okay at point guard now.
Don't they have
Yeah.
they have one of the Bogdanoviches, don't they?
Yes.
He's pretty solid too.
Yeah. He's a good shooter. He's a great shooter.
I had Victor Oladipo as elite.
Yeah, just real quick, I'm gonna throw shade at a YouTube channel real quick. So, No Defense on YouTube was predicting that they were going to trade Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert this offseason.
Okay.
That's only because of this coronavirus thing.
I can see one of them getting traded, and if I had to guess, it's going to be Gobert.
I can
I
only
think
see
so, too.
Gobert being traded. I don't see Donovan Mitchell. I don't see them letting Donovan Mitchell leave.
They're both
Unless
free
he
agents.
wants out. Unless he
Yeah.
wants out. That's the only way.
I have a feeling that if Donovan Mitchell does not want out and like he's going to re-sign a contract, the only way, like the way that he's going to be re-signing a contract is he's going to get locked in their owner's basement. and he's not going to be able to come out until he signs a contract.
DeAndre Jordan,
Yeah, exactly.
force him to sign with LA.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Mitchell and Gobert, especially given how their relationship has been broken a bit by this coronavirus.
People, like the media is saying, like, oh, yeah, it's unsalvageable. It's unsalvageable. No, it's
Who
not.
knows? Who knows?
They're teammates. They have to salvage it.
They're free agents the same year, though, so
It's true.
I could see them trying to trade Gobert to get something for him. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And we all had Luka Doncic as elite.
Well, of course. That kid's insane.
He could have
I'm
been an
still-
MVP. He could have been MVP.
He's
like,
an
right
MVP
behind
candidate.
Giannis.
I'm still confused why he was put in the Rising Stars game, though.
Him and Trae Young should not have been in Rising Stars. They
I
are
mean,
already
like,
stars.
dude, they're both starters. Like, they were both all-star starters. Like,
Like, if you want to name the teams like Team Trae and Team Luka, go ahead and do that. But they should
Do a
not have taken
draft, too.
spots.
You could have done a draft with those two, kind of like LeBron
Yeah.
and Giannis did. That would have been kind of cool to make the
Oh,
event
cool.
more.
That would have been fun. Because it just builds upon the rivalry that they're already trying to push.
Yeah.
Now, Sam, who did you have in your star tier?
I had DeMar DeRozan, Victor Oladipo, Buddy Hield, C.J. McCollum, Jimmy Butler, D'Angelo Russell, and Drew Holiday.
Okay. Trae, who did you have?
Bradley Beal, Jimmy Butler, DeMar DeRozan, C.J. McCollum, Devin Booker, Victor Oladipo, and Zach LaVine.
Okay, so I had DeMar DeRozan, Drew Holiday, Buddy Hield, Karis LeVert, Jaylen Brown, C.J. McCollum, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Norman Powell.
Norman Powell, that seems a little high to
I
me.
think- Let me pull up the stats right now. Norman Powell was mostly coming off the bench this year for Toronto. They had Fred VanVleet starting alongside Kyle Lowry most of the time. But
like, how could you have a star off the bench? Like,
Trash.
he is, this season, averaging 16 points per game,
Trash.
1.8 assists, 1.3 steals,
Trash.
3.7
Trash.
total rebounds.
Trash.
he's a good role player, but I don't think you could say he's a star. Like,
Yeah, he's not a star. I can tell you that.
Watch him in the playoffs. He provided so much energy throughout multiple series.
So did
but you want to
Kawhi.
put him in the same breath as like C.J. McCollum and all those guys.
He's at the very
Oladipo.
end of that star tier. I think in a couple of years, he's certainly going to be there. But for now, I think low star tier for Norman Powell. I think
have
he's
one
super
question.
underrated.
I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
So you guys had Levine in the elite, but you didn't have Jimmy Butler. I think
I had Jimmy Butler's
better.
elite. I
Okay,
had
I
Jimmy
agree with
Butler's
Butler
elite.
star.
I think Jimmy Butler's better than Zach LaVine because he's a good defender and he's more proven.
He's a leader.
No, he's not.
Everywhere he goes, they win. And once he
Jimmy
leaves, the team
Butler is
falls
not
off.
a leader.
Okay,
He
then why
can
has
play good defense. That's
why
the
has
thing,
every
and
team
score.
Jimmy Butler has played for fallen off the moment he leaves?
I mean, well, he's just a cancer in the locker room. He's a cancer in the locker room. That's the reason why that's the reason why the Bulls traded him away.
We haven't heard that in Miami yet, though.
I think Miami likes him.
Miami likes
because
him.
Miami has Bam, Tyler Hero. They've got all those guys down there. Like,
Okay, he wanted out of Minnesota because Wiggins and Towns weren't working hard enough. He wanted out of Philly because he realized that they weren't going to win anything with Simmons and Embiid. He wanted a better supporting cast who would actually work well, and he wouldn't have to carry them, basically.
I mean, he seems like he likes Miami.
Yeah, and it seems like Miami likes him.
I watched this this video of like a Q&A, like the Miami Heat Q&A. It was Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, and Jimmy Butler, and the whole time they were just sitting there making fun of how Tyler Hero wasn't able to go on Miami Beach and stuff like that. It's hilarious.
Those NBA was it by Slam?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen they've done a bunch of those.
They did one on the Raptors too. I watched
Yeah.
that one where
That was a great one.
what's his face? Was it Ibaka?
Serge
Got
Ibaka,
mad
yeah.
and left.
Yeah.
He
Serge
mad
Ibaka got up and left because they made fun of his fashion
Yeah.
or his art. I'm sorry, Serge Ibaka. It's art. But I think Jimmy Butler is still an elite player.
I think Jimmy Butler is still an elite player too.
He's one of the best two-way players like in the league. There's
Yeah.
not really an argue about that.
It's true.
I'd say he's probably, just off the top of my head, probably top 5. Or in
Because
contention.
Kawhi's above him. Because Kawhi's probably above him.
Kawhi, I'd say, is the
Giannis.
number 1 two-way player in the league.
Giannis is
Yeah.
above him too.
I'd say Kawhi, Giannis. I'd say LeBron and Paul George.
Kawhi,
Yeah.
Kawhi and
sounds
LeBron.
right.
I mean, Kawhi and Giannis is close. That's close.
I'd say Kawhi has the edge.
I
I think
Kawhi
Kawhi's
definitely has the
defense
edge.
might be a little bit better.
He's a
right?
better defender, and he's way more experienced.
That's true.
2 rings, 2 Finals MVPs.
It's true. Just that good.
DeMar
Maybe a
DeRozan
third
is still a
team.
star. Speaking of former Raptors stars, DeMar DeRozan is still
DeMar
a star.
DeRozan is still a star.
Yeah, he's good. I like him still. Just on a bad team.
He's not in a system that fits his play style. Because the
Just
Spurs is all
because-
about like selflessness, playing for the team. He's never really been that like guy who's going to pass the ball. He's a pure scorer. And in the modern NBA, that's mostly 3-pointers. His mid-range, it just doesn't fit. It's great, but it doesn't fit the trend.
He still has the talent. That's the thing.
He still has the talent. Buddy Hield, still a star tier.
Buddy Hield
I had
is
him
star
upper
tier.
good. I had him
Okay.
upper good. I love Buddy Hield, but I think he's close. And in maybe a year he's a star. I just don't think he's there yet.
Sam?
I mean, I'm putting Buddy Hield as a star because they don't have 2 elite players on their team. The only elite player they have on their team is De'Aaron Fox.
I mean, this season he wasn't as good as previous years, but I think he's still really solid. 19.8
think he
points
is
per
too.
game.
I watched Buddy Hield play against the Bulls, and he absolutely torched the Bulls with the 3 ball.
He's
When-
great. I seen him in
yeah.
college too. Against Kansas, it was like 1 versus 2, Oklahoma, Kansas. And it was like an overtime game, and he just went crazy. I loved him ever since.
Then I also had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as a star. He's super underrated in my eyes.
He is underrated, but I mean, I think he still has a year. I think he still has, because this is his 2nd year in the
It's
league.
his 2nd year. It's his 1st year in Oklahoma City.
I think he still has a year to prove himself.
I put him in the same category as Buddy Hield. 1 more year,
Once-
and I think he could be a star.
If I can see him teach, like if I could see him like help out with like the draft picks, with the 15 draft picks they have, dude, I think the Thunder have a championship coming their way.
If they
It's just
draft
the
right
West
over the next couple
is
years,
tough.
they definitely do.
The
They'll
West
have-
is tough. That's the problem.
They have the pieces.
The West is definitely tough, but I mean, think because when all of their players like rise up and step up and stuff like that, LeBron's gonna be gone.
Yeah.
The
'Cause how
Warriors
many years-
might still be around. They might.
I don't know.
I think the Warriors are gonna come back. I
They're
think
going to come back. But
'Cause
for how
you're
long
telling
is the
me-
question.
past Shaw, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, a early draft pick, a 1 of 2,
Potentially the
another
number 1
or 2.
pick.
Potentially number 1.
Exactly, and
So it could be
Draymond.
Wiseman. It could be Wiseman. Put him at center.
As much as I don't like Draymond, he's still a great player. But
He's an
I
all-star
think
at being a role player.
my favorite moment of Draymond Green is when he got ejected from the finals game and he got into it with Drake.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was so
I
funny.
remember that. Drake is the number 1 celebrity fan. Let's just be real.
What about Spike Lee?
No.
He ditched his team just because he couldn't go in the players' entrance.
I think Drake wearing a Del Curry Raptors jersey to the finals, game 1,
That was tough.
that was great.
That was pretty funny.
All right, back to the tier list. My good tier, I have RJ Barrett, Evan Fournier, and Josh Richardson.
The small good. My good tier is long.
Who do you have in your good tier, Sam?
I had Tim Hardaway Jr., Jaylen Brown, Kevin Huerter, Karis LeVert, Darius Garland, RJ Barrett, Dylan Brooks, Shea Alexander, Andrew Wiggins, and Evan Fournier.
I had Healed, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, SGA, Fournier, and Norman Powell.
Okay. So you had Drew Holiday in your good tier, Trey?
I did.
I think he's crazy underrated. He does not get enough respect for what
He would be at the top of my good tier for sure. I like him a lot. Like, he's a good player. Makes people better.
If he was in the East, he would be an all-star.
Oh, for sure. The East sucks.
There are a lot of guys in the West who...
The East is terrible. Like, the East, it's Bradley Beal. Like, it's Giannis, Beal,
Siakam.
Levine, Siakam, Butler, Trey.
What do you want to say, Embiid?
Oh, KD and Kyrie too.
Yeah, but KD's not back yet.
He's gonna be.
Yeah, he's gonna be.
But is he gonna be fully healthy? That's the question.
Yes.
I think he will be. The next full season, I think he will be.
I have complete because after like 3 months after like the third or fourth month, dude, he was doing wall jumps out of the pool.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
I think he's going to be back. He's going to be back, like, to his elite self.
I think he's going to be back. I think I wouldn't expect him to be on that same tier he was at, just like a notch down. I think
he's going to be at the same tier. He's definitely
maybe not right away, but he'll get there.
Yeah.
I think he just needs time because back when Kobe tore his Achilles, he didn't have as good of like treatment as we do now. You know.
True.
So I think if KD takes his treatment correctly, I think he's still gonna be a great player.
But at the same time, he had injury problems prior to his Achilles injury.
That's true.
So who knows? I don't want to see him turn into another DeMarcus Cousins where the injuries just completely derail him.
2020, that's the worst NBA season I've ever had.
Well, I mean, we don't have a season right now, so
yeah, no ending.
Trey, who do you have in your average tier?
RJ Barrett, Danny Green, Karis LeVert, Gary Harris, Darius Garland, Kennard, Dylan Brooks, Josh Richardson, and Shannon from the Clippers.
Okay. Before I get into mine, Trey, you had Karis LeVert at.
I did.
And then
for average.
You had
average?
Kurt, you had Karis LeVert with the star, right?
Yeah.
It's a pretty big difference.
What do you got, Sam, for him?
I had Karis LeVert as good.
I mean, he missed a lot of time last year because of injuries.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I put him at good, is because I don't think he's fully back from his injury, but he has done a great job coming back from that horrific leg injury.
Yeah. Before that injury, he was killing it. Like
he was a great player, dude. I remember that. I was watching that game. Like,
he still has potential. I'm not dismissing that. He still has potential. I just don't think he's there
I was
yet.
kind of just scrolling through one night because the Bulls weren't playing and the Hawks weren't on. And I watched, like, the Brooklyn Nets. And I turn it on, and it's in the middle of Karis LeVert getting taken off on a stretcher. I'm like, what the hell? And I watched the replay, and I'm like, nope, not watching this game anymore. Nope, I'm off. I'm gone.
Okay, then who else did you have in your average tier, Sam?
I had Landry Shamet, Gary Harris, Danny Green, and Wesley Matthews.
Okay. I had Kevin Huerter, Darius Garland, Gary Harris, Luke Kennard, Landry Shamet, Danny Green, and Dylan Brooks. Danny Green he's a solid three-point shooter at this point.
He's a good piece on a contender.
If he's a solid three-point shooter, I think his three-point percentage would have been up this year.
He's having an off year, but for his career.
He was good with the Raptors that 1 year. Like, he was a good piece.
Last year, he was pretty solid.
I have a feeling he's going to be a Kyle Kuzma.
Who? Danny Green?
Danny Green.
What do you mean by a Kyle Kuzma?
He's a bust. He's gonna be a bust.
Danny Green's been in the league for a while.
I see him more as like a Kyle Korver type.
Yeah, he's basically another. He's been in the league for 10 years, 2010 to 2020.
What the?
Yeah, he was with the Spurs for a lot of years, but I think he's like Kyle Korver.
Right.
He's more of a Kyle Korver type, just pure shooter.
He's not going to be as good as Kyle Korver. Kyle
Korver's one of the elite shooters all time.
Yeah, but isn't he pretty bad in the playoffs, Kyle Korver?
I mean, when he's
is
made
Kyle
the
Korver going to be a Hall of Famer?
No.
Ooh.
I don't see it.
I think he's going to be one of those guys who gets in like long after he retires.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be a first ballot guy.
He won't be a first ballot. No way.
No, I don't see it. I mean, he never averaged more than 15 points a game from what I'm looking at. Like, I don't think that's a Hall of Famer. Like,
I think if you're talking about pure consistency as a shooter, he's one of the best there is.
His career average is 9 points a game. Like,
yeah, because he's never been the number one star in a team, really. He's always that just role player, 3-point guy.
I don't see that as a Hall of Famer personally.
All right. So should we go on to the trash tier?
Okay.
It's the only thing left.
Sam, let's start with you on this. I know you're really excited for this.
I have one player in there, and only one. Luke Kennard.
Luke Kennard?
Hate this guy. You don't even have to cut that out.
We're going to need to cut that out.
I don't give a shit. I hate Luke Kennard. That guy, he's just so bad.
I don't know. He wasn't terrible
He's
last year, though.
Terrible.
Yes, he was. I saw him in 6 games all year. And I saw him miss at least 4 wide open threes. And this guy's considered to be a 3-point shooter.
Keep in mind he's on Detroit. He has Dwayne Casey as his head coach. He has no one else good
where he is. I don't give a where he is. He's terrible.
You just hate the Pistons.
Yeah, I despise the Pistons.
They got rid of Andre Drummond.
Please keep this in the podcast. You, Isaiah Thomas. Like Horace Grant said, that whole Bad Boys Pistons team, straight up.
That was the best line of The Last Dance.
That was the best line of The Last Dance.
That entire
100%.
Bad Boys episode was really interesting.
Oh yeah, we're gonna walk to the locker room after the Eastern Conference Final after getting swept 4-0. We're not gonna shake your hands. Shut up. He said it was justified. It was justified. No, it's not.
The Bulls shook their hands with everyone, even when they lost.
Exactly. We've got class. Then you got the Pistons over there. Who names their team the Pistons?
Because it's Detroit. It's the Motor City. It's cars.
Yeah, I know. But
Sam just hates Michigan teams. That's what
you
it
just
is.
hate Michigan. You just hate Michigan.
That's fair. Fair.
Like, who do you like in Michigan?
Let's think. I don't have a problem with Michigan State. I like Michigan State.
What about Michigan?
Don't even get me started.
Your favorite quarterback of all time?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
The GOAT himself, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, you're a snake. You should have finished your career with New England.
I mean, he got them 6 rings. He gave everything he could to the organization, basically.
Should have finished his career.
Aaron Rodgers isn't going to finish his career in Green Bay.
No, he won't.
Well,
he might go to a divisional rival.
Is he going to pull a Brett Favre and end his career with the best team in the NFC North?
The Bears?
No, the Vikings.
Packers?
The Vikings.
What? No! The Vikings are not the best team in the NFC North.
No, they're not. They also don't play real football, right, Sam?
Exactly. They don't play real football. That's another thing.
Outdoor football.
Then the
yeah,
Saints
so
don't.
You guys have your little you guys have like your little dome. You guys got like
Wait, so then the Rams, Chargers,
heated field.
Wait, so then the Rams, Chargers, Saints, Falcons.
Green Bay over here. We're playing Green Bay and Chicago. We're playing real football.
Bears Packers always real football every time.
So you're saying that
every time.
you're saying a
At
good
least
portion
one
of the
cold
league
game.
doesn't play real football then?
Yeah, basically.
Basically.
I mean, the Patriots play real football, and they're the best franchise of recent memory.
The 49ers play real football.
What about the Saints?
They don't play real football.
They don't play real football.
13-3 the past couple years isn't real football?
That's not real football.
No.
They lost.
I mean, they always lose to the Vikings in the
They
playoffs.
lost to the
So
Vikings in the playoffs.
Yeah, those are
That's not
two
real
like
football.
non-real football places, though.
I don't know.
Saints in
Exactly.
Minnesota.
Two non-real football teams, exactly. They should have a Super Bowl in Green Bay and Chicago and see how they feel.
Yeah, they won't be ready. Bears and Packers
Exactly.
will be.
They don't want the cold. They don't want it. They don't want it.
Wasn't
Green Bay and Chicago. We are the two best cold teams in the NFL.
Bills Mafia?
They're up
They
there.
haven't had good history. They haven't had good history, though. That's the thing. Their history isn't great.
Their history's
Bears-
okay. Their
Bears
history's
and
okay.
Packers are the best rivalry, though, of all
The
time.
Bears-Packers have the best rivalry in the NFL.
How
Yes.
did we get from Luke Kennard to Bears Packers?
Because the Bears and Packers are the best. Like,
And Luke Kennard?
Luke Kennard. Well, don't get me started on Luke Kennard.
I think we already got you started.
We already did.
Luke Kennard, just go home. Just quit basketball. You need to stop playing basketball.
What if he's an all-star one day?
I'm not watching the All-Star game if he's an All-Star.
That's it?
Yep.
Then
All
LaMelo
right.
Ball will be on the Bulls.
Absolutely not.
I think we need to get Luke Kennard and LaMelo Ball on the Bulls.
I'm not a Bulls fan then.
And I think we also need to get Jeff Teague.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
And then we'll trade Kobe White. Then
If
we'll
you
trade
don't
Kobe White,
understand the
right,
Jeff
Tim?
Teague reference, watch the last episode.
All right.
Or
Well,
the ball, or the LaMelo Ball reference too.
All right. Well, where is if any of those if any of those four players go to the Chicago Bulls? Do you see? I have a Bulls poster in my room. It is right by my door. I will go to my backyard with a lighter and I will burn that poster.
All right.
Got to respect the Levine jersey though.
Gotta
Yeah.
respect the Levine jersey. You can't
You
diss
need to
Levine. I
respect
love
that
Zach
Levine
Levine.
jersey. All right, Matt here. Do we even want to? I had like 3 players in here, so
I had 4.
There's no point in even talking about them because they're useless to the NBA. They should just drop basketball and just go work at McDonald's. Go get their 9 to 5 job at McDonald's. Go pick up your 9 to 5.
Dude, okay, one of mine is a rookie, so like, and it's not even like the best rookie. He's not even the best player on his team. Like
Who is it?
Jared Culver.
I have him in there too.
Culver wasn't bad.
He wasn't great
He-
though.
He didn't really do much. Let's be honest here.
As Flight always said, who is this guy? This is you just got crossed up by some 2-day contract player.
Wait, Trey,
But
who else
Nicholas
did you
Batum
have?
is definitely on the bottom.
Yeah.
Nicholas Batum, Wesley Matthews, and Kevin Herter. Those are mine.
Okay, Batum didn't play that much this year, so for a career, I'd say he's kind of average, but this year he just didn't play that much, and when he did play, he wasn't that good.
Yeah. Then Matthews wasn't really that relevant on the
He's
Bucks
past
this
his
year
prime.
either.
Kurt, Nicholas Batum is your favorite player.
Definitely not.
I'm gonna get you a Nicholas Batum jersey.
All right, so those are our rankings of NBA shooting guards. Remember, The Three Sportsmen is a weekly podcast, so be sure to tune in next week. And if you'd like to guest on the podcast, remember, just use the information that we gave at the beginning of this episode. This has been The Three Sportsmen, and remember, trust the podcast.